Hi everyone, welcome to SK Technologies. So today we will discuss the Unix basic commands. Basically, Unix is not an operating system, it's an operating system organization. Okay, so most of the people they will get confusion on Linux and Unix. So they will think both Linux and Unix are operating systems. Okay, but Linux is a operating system, that obviously correct, but Unix is Unix is not an operating system. It's a operating system organization. Okay, operating system organization. So this is slight difference between Linux and Unix. So make sure Linux is the operating system, but Unix is an operating system organization. Okay, so under this Unix operating system organization, okay, under this Unix, okay, you have all flavors like your sorry, AX, okay, and your Linux and your Solaris, okay, so and your HP Unix. So these all are the operating systems okay, under your Unix operating system organization. Okay, Unix is an operating system organization. Under this organization, you are having the all these flavors. Okay, so AIX is one of the operating system, Linux and Solaris HP Unix. Okay, and the vendor of AX is IBM. Okay, the vendor of AX is IBM, and for the Linux there are multiple vendors. Okay, like Red Hat. So currently IBM took over this. Okay, very uh, 3 years back, almost three and a half year back, IBM took over this Red Hat and your CentOS and your Ubuntu and Fedora. Okay, so SeLinux. So there are plenty distributions are available for your Linux operating system. Okay, on the Solaris, the Sun Network. Okay, Sun Networks are the vendor for the Solaris, and the HP Unix, the name itself stating that HP company, Helvet Packard. Okay, so these are the vendors of your all flavors which are under your Unix organization. Okay, so now I have written here Unix commands. So whatever the commands, all these whatever the comes under Unix commands, these all commands are applicable for all these flavors. Okay, AX, Linux, Solaris, and HP Unix. And AX commands means only it will work on the AX operating system. Fine. And if I am mentioning particularly Linux commands means then those commands are working on Linux operating system only. Okay. So now we will discuss about Linux commands, also Unix commands also. Unix commands and some Linux commands. Why you need to learn these Linux commands? Because in the DevOps course, all the DevOps tools you are going to install on Linux servers only. So you should aware all the basic commands, especially the installation stuff commands. So you should aware all the installation commands of your Linux operating system. So inside operating system, there are multiple vendors are available. Okay, so is it fine so far? So if you have any questions, please put in the comment box. Okay. So if you have any questions, so please write in the comment box. I will try to sort it out. Okay. Now we will see couple of basic commands. So which will work on all flavors. Okay. So the very basic command is touch. Okay. Touch on your file name. This is the syntax of your touch command. By using the touch command, you are going to create an empty file. Okay, so by using the touch command you are going to create an empty file. Okay, after that if you want to display that files, okay, if you want to list out the files by using the ls command. Okay, so what ls command it will do, it will list out the files or directories also in your current directory. Okay, this is the second command. And by using the ls-l also, so this command what it will do, the same it will list out the files. Okay, list out the files, but with list out the files with extra properties, the properties of those files. Okay, so we will see practically also. So first I will list out all the commands, then we will go for the practicals. Okay, so most of the guys they are getting confusion on Linux and Unix, right? So this is the story behind that. Okay, and observe Aix having only one vendor, and Sun Solar is also having one vendor, and HP Unix also one vendor. But if you observe for the Linux operating system, there are multiple vendors. Can you think why what is the reason? Because AIX and Solaris and your HP Unix, these are the HP Unix, these all are the not open source, not open source operating systems, because no, it's not a free of cost. Okay, but your Linux operating system is a, this is open source. Okay, this is the open source. Open source in the sense free of cost. Also, they will provide the source code also. Okay, so they will provide the source code of this Linux. That is the reason these many distributors what they have done, they have they have taken that source code and they developed their own architecture of this Linux operating system. Okay, so that is the reason. So Linux having more distributors. Fine. So don't confusion on Linux and Unix. Okay, Unix is an operating systems organization. Okay, but Linux is a under Unix operating system organization, but it's a separate operating system. It's a one of the flavor of your Unix family. Okay, you may consider as a Unix family. Fine. So now we will see very basic commands. So ls touch command. Okay, and if you want to add any data, you have to use the vi command, van file name. Okay, after that vi means add or modify data in the file. Okay, then after that cat command. So cat what it will do, cat and your file name, what it will do, it will display the content of your file. Okay, content of file. So the cat command, it will display the all the So if you want to display your content line by line, okay, so line by line, then you have to use more command, okay, line by line. But there is a small disadvantage with more command. We will see what it is. So to overcome the disadvantage, we have a less command. Both more and less, it will display your content line by line only. Okay, but the more command only downwards it will show. But the less command, it will upwards and downwards it will show. Okay, and if you want to list out top 10 lines means there is a head command. Okay, so it will display top 10 lines of your top 10 lines of your file. Okay, in the same way, if you want to see the tail, the bottom of your file, okay, bottom lines of your file, you have to execute the tail command. Okay, bottom 10 lines. Fine. So now, so in this session we will discuss all about these commands. So later in the next session we will continue with the other few more commands. Okay, so now what I will do, I will try to connect with my AWS instance. Okay, I already connected. Let me reconnect. Now let me execute all these commands. Okay, don't switch to root. Let me exit. You are inside the Ubuntu user only. Okay, so let me list out. Yeah, nothing are there. See, ls command. Why we are using the ls command? To list out the files and directories. So it displayed the nothing means nothing files exist in my directory. Okay, now let me create a file called sktech. See, ls, see, sk file has been created. The ls command -l means, so it will give more details, more properties of your file, like permissions, ownership, okay, and size, and your timestamp, and your file name. Okay, now I just executed this touch command. Okay, this touch command, and ls also we have verified. Now let me add some data in my file. Okay, so by using the VI is a special page. So in this page, the normal commands won't work. Okay, the normal commands are won't work. So we have to execute the special keys. Special keys only will work in the VI. So now we will see what those special keys. So escape and I. If you press the escape and I, you will move into your VI page. Sorry, let me do the VI. Okay, so see, this is a special page. Here normal commands won't work. If you observe, there is a beep sound is coming in the background. Okay, see, if you observe, there is a beep sound because it's not allowing me to write. It's not allowing to add the data, because if you want to add the data, you have to move into insert mode. Okay, so insert mode, you have to move. Okay, by pressing the escape I, you will be inside your insert mode. Let me type escape and I. See, if you observe, you moved into insert mode. Now you can type. Hello SK Technologies students, we are learning basic commands. Okay, now I have written something. Now I want to save the file. Okay, if you want to save the file, again escape :W. Okay, this will save your file, save your data. Okay, now Once I have saved the file, if I want to go back with my actual terminal, okay, then you have to press the escape colon q. It will quit from the VA. Okay, it will quit from the VA, or else you can give the W and Q together. It means save and quit. Save and quit. Okay, now we will try. I just written some data. Now let me save this file. Escape colon C colon here and W. Hit enter. See, three lines are added and some size added for this file. Okay, so based on the characters, still considering the size, and it saved. It got saved. Now let me quit from the VI. Again escape colon type Q and hit enter. See, I came back from the VI. Now I am in the normal session. Okay, if you observe, the dollar sign is showing, right? See here, the dollar sign. The dollar sign is, so normally the moment you logged in the server, if it is a dollar sign showing means you can tell them blindly this is a normal user. And sometimes you will see as symbol. This means it is a administration user, which is root user in Linux terminology. Okay, root user means administration user. We will see slowly. Okay, just remember dollar sign means normal user. Hash prompt means hash sign means root user. Fine. Now I added this data. Now I want to display that content. What is inside my file? You have to use the cat command and your file name. See, this is my content which is having in which is exist on inside my file. Okay, so like this. Suppose if your file having few more data, most lot of the data, then what you have to do? Let me add this one. Okay, so what I can do? Let me add something in my data. Mm, Let me add my personal data, or you can use the installation guide is right, so you can add this data. Anything if you want you can add. Okay, just copy it. Okay, copy it, go back again, do the vi your sktech. Okay, again escape I and the cursor blinking here, right? Come down and do the right click and paste here. Okay, so I'm adding some data inside my file. Now you can WQ altogether you can give. It means save and quit. Okay, see, now we can do the cat sktech. See, the complete output it will display. The complete output. See, lot of output from here onwards, including my first two lines and other all my so here onwards. See, complete output it will display. So it's a not good way to read your file. So to overcome this, you have to use the more command. Okay, there is a command called more and your file name. What it will do? It will also display the same content of your file but line by line. See, line by line it is showing, but there is a small disadvantage with this. Okay, you won't be you don't you can't be move as a upwards. Okay, you can't move your cursor as a upwards. So this is the disadvantage with more command. To overcome this, you can use the same less command. So less also it will display the same file content line by line, but it will supposed to move your cursor both upwards and downwards. So downwards I am moving, right, and upwards. Okay, see like this. Now out of this file, only if you want to display the top 10 lines, then you have to use the head command. Okay, so by default it having the top 10 lines. Okay, so by default it will display the top 10 lines. If you want to display some random numbers like 15, you can mention with the hyphen option, then your file name. Okay, so here now along with your 10, how much you are specifying those numbers, total 15 lines it will display. See, 15 I have mentioned, right? So total 15 lines. If you mention 30, then top 30 lines it will display. Okay, see, like that. So now if you want to display your content from bottom, okay, then you have to use the tail command. So this is very useful command. Even in the real time, most of the people are using, all the people are using. While if you want to see your logs, okay, if you want to see your logs, then we are using the tail command. The logs means that's the ongoing file, right? So keep on adding the right events in your server. So in the same way you can specify the number with the hyphen option. Okay, 20, then bottom 20 lines it will display from your file. See, okay, so VI commands are only special keys only will work on VI. Okay, sometimes if you are trying to add some data, okay, so sometimes you may get an error. At the time you can use W and exclamation. Okay, what it will do means, W and exclamation means forcefully it will save. Okay, forcefully it will save your data. In the same way, if you want to quit from the VI forcefully, you can do this. You can do give like this. Okay, force quit, or also you can give together WQ exclamation. This is the thing in the real time also people are giving. Forcefully, forcefully save your file. Also quit from your VI. Okay, so these special keys only will work in your VI. So normal commands won't work here. Okay, so make sure try to practice. So I will stop it now. Then we will see in the next session few more commands. Okay, these are very basic commands. So try to practice. I hope you already know about how to set up your lab, how to set up the EC2 instance in the previous session. Okay, in the previous session I have explained clearly. If nobody not sure how to set up the lab, then please go and watch my previous video. Okay, thank you guys. We'll meet in next session.